We continue our reading of God's Dream for You, The Chosen, a morning devotional authored by Dwight K. Nelson. Today's reading, August 31. Taste Them Again for the First Time, Part 2. Have faith in the Lord your God, and you will be upheld. Have faith in his prophets, and you will be successful. 2 Chronicles 20:20. I grew up a fifth-generation Seventh-day Adventist and became a fourth-generation preacher in this community of faith. So it may sound a bit incongruous to tell you that I didn't meet Jesus Christ in a lasting way until I was a graduate student in the seminary. God used the teachings of one of my professors to convict my heart of a desperate spiritual need I'd been ignoring through my early young adult years. With anguished guilt, I sought out that professor in a stairwell in the seminary building. As I began to pour out my heart, his immediate response was brusque but spirit-directed. Go, read Steps to Christ. Go, read Steps to Christ. I had hoped for a listening ear, but he sent me to a book instead. But today I am very grateful he did, because back in our apartment was an old Army-Navy edition of A Steps to Christ. I'd had to read in the 8th grade in order to be baptized. I pulled it off my shelf and slowly began to reread that old classic. And in tasting it again for the first time, I discovered that the title to the book was a self-fulfilling prophecy. It really did become, for me, fresh, new steps to Christ. Out of that spiritual rebirthing, as it were, God began to guide my journey into a relationally focused devotional worship prayer life that we've already shared in this book. And out of that journey, there was awakened in my heart a new and deeper appreciation for the ministry of Ellen White. That's why I wanted to share with you what we have these past few days. There truly is an empirical spiritual correlation between reading the writings of this messenger to the chosen at this time in history and our walk with God. Roger Dudley and Des Cummings Jr. ended their research, noted yesterday, with this compelling conclusion, quote, "Seldom does a research study find the evidence so heavily weighed toward one conclusion. In the Church Growth Survey, on every single item that deals with personal attitudes or practices of spiritual life, the church member who regularly studies Ellen White's books tends to rank higher than does the member who reads them only occasionally or never." Ministry Magazine, October 1982, page 12. Is all of this, then, about who among us ranks the highest? Hardly. But given the urgent times in which we're living and the promise of our text today, why wouldn't the chosen want the one gift God personally chose for our spiritual success and our end-time mission? This concludes our reading today of God's Dream for You, The Chosen.